welcome to another episode of Don't Call It Small. I'm your host, Natasha Foreman. If you don't know about me and you have no clue what this podcast is all about, let me share a bit. I'm the CEO of ForemanAssociates, LLC, where we provide consulting, business support, and professional development services. And Don't Call It Small is where we talk all things business, share tips and news that you can use, and highlight the people and ideas behind the products and services that we buy. To learn more about us, please visit ForemanLLC.com.
Ooh-wee. Well, hello everyone. It is Thursday, and as promised yesterday, I'm back. Let me start off with a quote from the late, great Dr. Maya Angelou, who said, and she's quoted as saying, "You can't use up creativity. The more you use, the more you have." So let's take a look at some creative souls in today's episode, shall we? Let's first begin with a former student of mine. He took classes with me in Atlanta Technical College, and back in September, he reached out to me on LinkedIn to let me know that he was pursuing a career in writing. And of course, I was so giddy with excitement. Oh my goodness, I was so excited. And I'm always excited when former students reach out to me. And then, of course, if any of them, to let me know that they're actually pursuing their dreams and passions. And so when I got the message, and I'm not very active in LinkedIn. So when I got the message, and I was just so excited. So I couldn't wait to let him know that I would be featuring him on the Don't Call It Small podcast. This newly published author, I love saying that, is Tyrell Plair. And his new novel is titled Stolen Innocence. And I was so excited when Tyrell said he would mail me my very own copy. Now, my calendar got a little janky a few days ago, so I couldn't attend his book signing on November 10th at the Auburn Avenue Research Library in Atlanta, Georgia. I really wish I could have made that. The Botton Foundation hosted a lecture and book signing that day for Tyrell, and I want to be able to tell you about that day, but also share with you more information about Tyrell and his novel, Stolen Innocence. So to look at the Tyrell and to bring you then to today, let's go backwards. Let's go back in time. Tyrell was born in Chicago. He lived there with his mother and siblings. His mom was a single mom. She was struggling to make ends meet. So she moved the family to Atlanta. And there, his aunt, who was a bookworm, an avid reader, she would share with him, all these various books. And he fell in love with reading. His mom then decided to move them to Pensacola, Florida. And there he went to high school. When he graduated from high school, he joined the United States Army, and he served in the Army for 6 years, decided not to re-enlist, and then got caught up in the lifestyle, out hanging out on the streets, riffraff, you know how that goes. Made some bad decisions and found himself in prison. And while he was in prison, he had a great uncle who was terminally ill. And the uncle visited Tyrell in prison. And sadly, it was for the last time before he passed. He begged and pleaded with his nephew to take the time that he had in prison to make that a learning experience. He encouraged him that when he got out of prison to take a different path, to pursue something that would be rewarding and honorable. And his last wish before passing was that his nephew would find a new purpose in life that would bring him happiness instead of heartache. sadly, within a week of that visit, Tyrell's uncle passed away. So taking that experience and the words of wisdom and the heartfelt sentiments of his uncle, and of course his time in prison, Tyrell began to take various classes, all the classes he could take while incarcerated, and he manned up, as the saying goes. He took full responsibility for his situation, the actions that got him there, the decisions that he made. And instead of seeing his prison sentence as a curse or as a negative, he started to see it as a blessing in disguise. And taking on this new perspective, he started writing. And the more he wrote, the more he started to realize this was part of his self-discovery. It was part of him finding out who Tyrell really is and who he wants to be. And through that self-discovery, birthed the novel Stolen Innocence. And Stolen Innocence is a story that explores love, hurt, and betrayal. And I don't know about you, but I've experienced all three multiple times. And what is very interesting about this novel is that it's told from the perspective of the protagonist. So it follows a young woman by the name of Alicia Johnson, who's a corporate attorney. And she's struggling with letting go of her past hurts. And as she's learning how to let go of the hurt from the past, she finds, and I'm not trying to ruin the story, but how do I put this? She finds herself having to self-reflect, right? And with that, she had some childhood trauma that she experienced. She was abused by someone who she was very close to, that she loved and trusted. And with that, she's still holding on to that. She's still a prisoner to that past. And Stolen Innocence, versus being fluff, it cuts straight to the chase. It looks deeply and closely at how childhood trauma impacts people. It impacts the relationships, personally, mentally, spiritually, financially, and professionally. And the novel, it is, so that you know, there are times when it is very graphic. It explores mental illness. It explores physical and sexual and psychological abuse. And by doing so, Tyrell hopes that it encourages people to start having more open discussions about these topics, especially when you look at various communities that are known for the sentiment of what happens in this house stays in this house, what happens in this family stays in this family. When you have that kind of mindset, that trauma is just festering because it has no way to come out to heal. And any kind of trauma, any kind of abuse, any kind of hurt, the only way to heal is for it to come out. It's like any other wound, right? It has to be cleaned out before it can heal. So I really hope that you will make the time to invest in this book, not just for yourself, but for others. And as you know, I've always strongly recommend that whenever you purchase a book for yourself and maybe someone else, that you also consider purchasing a book that you can then donate to a library, or to a college library or wherever, but that you can always donate. We're really wanting to implore people to embrace, to stand tall, as with all of the different traumas that we've experienced, some of us from childhood, some in adulthood, some in both childhood and adulthood. And one thing that Tyrell shared is that Some trauma survivors find it hard to trust, and others refuse to love. And there are those who turn to drugs and even alcohol to cope with violent past. And he hopes that this book might open someone's eyes to see that they're not the only one who's gone through tragedy. And as he's quoted as saying, you will never be able to grow as an individual if you harbor resentment for something that someone or something has done to you. And those are profound words. And that's definitely something that so many of us struggle with, right? We're so hurt, and that hurt blinds us. That hurt keeps us from being able to grow and to heal and to move forward. There's something that I wanted to be able to share that Tyrell shared with me, which was he wants to get involved in motivational speaking and mentoring. And so he has a Facebook page that I'd like you to visit. I want you to like and share it. It is his name. It's Tyrell Plair. So that's Tyrell. Last name is Plair, Plair. And the name of the book, again, this amazing novel, is Stolen Innocence. You can purchase his book on Amazon. And remember, Prime members, you know you can get your copy within 24 to 48 hours. So make sure you grab yours pronto. Tyrell, I am extremely proud of you. And I look forward to interviewing you on this podcast very soon. Please keep me posted on future book signings and readings and any other appearances so I can let my listeners know. I already know you will, but I'm just saying it here. I am proud of you, not just because you're a former student. I am proud of you because you took your past, you took your pain, you took your mistakes, you took the misdirection, and you realigned yourself. You reclaimed your life. You found you. And I hope that other people have the opportunity to read your book and to look through your lens and to look through the lens of the characters in your book and say, now's my time. Right now is my time. Right now is my time to make that change, to take that step, to reclaim my life, to heal, to grow, and to be all that I want to be, to chase and pursue and to claim and actually reach my dreams and goals. And so, Tyrell, I truly am proud of you for that. So, once again, the name of the book is Stolen Innocence. The author is Tyrell Plair. You can get it on Amazon today. Alrighty. Let's change things up a bit, but we're still going to keep it creative. I'm going to share another creative with you. I've highlighted entrepreneurs and published authors, and again, today I highlight another published author. So let's switch it up for just a tad, and let me highlight a singer, rapper, songwriter, composer, and producer. Oh, that's a lot, right? She says she's a missionary gospel artist, and just like Tyrell, she also contacted me a few months ago on LinkedIn. She's originally from Little Rock, Arkansas, was raised in Richmond, Virginia, and she's traveled to various venues performing in Kansas, Missouri, D.C., Maryland, New Jersey, New York, North Carolina, and Virginia. She has also taken part in rap battles. She's hosted spoken word events, taken part in various radio shows. She was a host of a local television show in Virginia called Let's Talk About It. And she is currently hosting a Facebook Live segment called Serve Your Gifts Saturday. So every Saturday you can tune in and check out her Facebook Live segment. Her name is Delphiyah, Delphiyah, and she has some new music out that she wants you to know all about. Her song Sun Ray was charted as #1 video on Reverberation. I got tongue-tied with that one. She has 2 new EPs called Jesus Hot and Spiritual Tsunami. I told her I would highlight her and share clips of her music. And so without further delay, let's play a snippet of 2 of her songs, Sun Ray and Here With Me. And of course, I'll provide all of her contact information on our blog. So let's go ahead and play the first track.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. In the beginning, it was first man given turf. In the beginning, it was the woman who gave birth. In the beginning is where the people became worth.
Shining and raining in the light, not physically nor mentally, but spiritually assigned. A city on a hill fulfilled and built for humankind. Stories are old spoken and then prophesied. Beyond illumination and secrets of the night, we cannot be hidden, so we burn, consuming time. Doing good works unto our Creator who's glorified, till we are purified. Come on, God's people, on my left and my right, let's shine.
All right. So that's that track. And then the next song from Delphiyah is called Here With Me. And I'm going to go ahead and play that now.
To make all my dreams come true. I'm the one with the poetry. I hope you notice me. A vision of love that's deep. Jump in the sunshine. I'm splashing my joy on you. I'm not the fast nor the furious. I'm taking my time with you because I'm so serious. All these mysteries got me so curious. Come a little bit closer where I exist. Earth permits your presence in my content. Blinding you everywhere on the internet. I'm so obsessed cause I'm sure that your love's the best. I'm on a quest to show why I am so blessed. Above the rest, favor not fair. I take you there. A diamond so rare.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is Delphiyah. If you're interested in learning more or connecting with her, then you can contact Jamel Robinson at area code 804-495-1577. Once again, you can contact Jamel Robinson at 804-495-1577. You can also send any inquiries via email to delphiyah@gmail.com. That's DELPHIYAH@gmail.com. I'm wishing you the best, Delphiyah. I am glad that you reached out to me. And be sure to let me know if you have any future performances or appearances in Atlanta or anywhere else in the country, so I can be sure to let my listeners know. It is a pleasure to be able to highlight creatives and entrepreneurs and authors and other people who are sharing their gifts and their talents with the world. That is what Don't Call It Small Business Podcast is all about. It's for us to share business news and tips and lessons and being able to share about the people of all places and sizes and spaces so that we can connect, we can invest, we can grow, and we can learn together. And I am glad that I have had this opportunity. I look forward to the future episodes that we have scheduled. So with that, you know what that means. It's that time again. It's time to wrap up and go our separate ways until next week. If you have questions or suggestions about this show, please email them to us at don'tcallitsmallbiz@gmail.com. That's don'tcallitsmallbiz@gmail.com. I'd like to share a quote with you. It's from Dieter F. Uchtdorf that says, "The desire to create is one of the deepest yearnings of the human soul." So ask yourself if your soul is yearning or is it constantly being satisfied? If not, then what are you going to do about it? So with that, be sure to check us out on Instagram and Facebook at ForemanAssociates. We're also on Twitter at ForemanLLC. Make sure you don't leave out the E in Foreman. That's Foreman. And something else. When you check us out, make sure that you also follow us and share us with your friends, colleagues, and family. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn at Natasha L. Foreman. Reach out to me. Say hello. Share your story. I look forward to meeting you. And don't forget, you can also text us your questions and suggestions for this podcast by texting 404-481-1849. And please remember that this is a text-only number. It does not accept voice calls. Standard messaging rates apply. I want to make sure to give proper credit for our theme song. It's Higher Up, and it's by Shane Ivers. Thank you so much for tuning into the Don't Call It Small Business Podcast, for sharing these episodes with others, and for your continued support. And don't forget what I tell you on each and every episode. Don't call what you're planning, thinking, dreaming, or doing little or small. Go big, go bold, or go nowhere. I will see you here next week for episode 22 of Don't Call It Small, where I'll be interviewing someone else. Oh my goodness, Billy Harris. Yes, Billy Harris, the woman behind the Vino Van LLC, the powerhouse behind the Vino Van LLC. I can't wait. And of course, I'll share some entrepreneurs and some tips and lessons you should get to know, get to understand. Have a super awesome day and week. Take care.